So let's talk about the question about the metabolism. So the question is, let's say, describe phase 1 and phase 2 reactions of the drug metabolism. Illustrate your answer in the following examples: morphine, tramadol, and propofol. So our structure is define, talk about phase 1 and 2, and talk about how phase 1 is preceding by phase 2, but you can jump straight to phase 2. Then you talk about phase 1, then you talk about phase 2, then you talk about the examples. What is metabolism? By transformation. It transforms. It's a transformer. We can draw a transformer. Let's draw a transformer. Okay, so that's a transformer. By transformation of a drug into a metabolite, active or inactive, that is easily eliminated of a drug. So basically it makes it more polar to eliminate. Phase 1 slightly increases the polarity. What does it do? By what? By adding or exposing a polar group. And you know that from oxidation and reduction. Oxidation mainly demethylation. Oil rig, oxidation is loss of electron, reduction is gain of an electron. This is major, this is minor. Hydrolysis is non-CYP 450 esterase. Phase 2 is significantly increases in polarity. Large molecules join and can be easily excreted. You have glucuronidation, acetylation. I always forget this: sulfation, methylation. We know the mnemonic Ruh Omegazma. And you have drugs usually go from phase 1 to phase 2, but sometimes can bypass phase 1. Then we give the examples. The examples are morphine, which is what they've asked for. How do you remember the difference and which one's phase 1? Look at this. What's this? M3G. Glucuronidation. Glucuronidation is only in phase 2, so you remember that's phase 2. Let's go from the start. Phase 1 is oxidation, 3YP, 3A4, morphine, inactive. Then you got phase 2, which is glucuronidation. I didn't actually write that. 80%, 10% sedative, inactive metabolite can get neuroexcitability. M6G is the active metabolite which gives the output analgesia, the small metabolism to codeine. Tramadol, phase 1. How do you remember which one's which? Well, phase 1 is M1, which is O demethylation. So we have a whole mnemonic about this, but demethylation is phase 1. CYP2D6, how do you remember which one is which? M1 is the active one. CYP2D6 is always mainly the active one. 85%. I think that's actually wrong. Let me check that.